Welcome back. This is part 2 of our plant study. Miss Carswell told you about stems and how important the stem is of a plant because the stem is what helps draw the water up so that the plant can get a drink and grow. Right here we have a stem. Here again it's holding the plant up. But some of the stems we eat, and some of the stems are my favorite part of the vegetable. I want to show you a stem that we eat. Do you know what this is? This is celery. Celery is actually the stem, and that's the part we eat. And it's crunchy. It's great if you put some peanut butter on it. It's a yummy snack. Here is asparagus. Now, this is a bunch of asparagus, and I just pulled one out so you can get a little bit better look at it. But again, the stem is the part we eat of the asparagus plant. I have an onion, a green onion, or you can call them a scallion. You can see the roots in the onion, but boys and girls, we also eat the stem, the green part, as well as some of this too. And they're really tasty to add to Mexican food, and they're yummy. And wow, can you really smell this today? It smells very strong, but good. This one here, there's two parts of the plant we eat. This is broccoli. The flowerette part we eat, but we also eat some of the stem. And that's another stem vegetable that we can eat. And I saved this one for last. Do you know what this is? This is called rhubarb. Rhubarb is very, very tart and sour. And it makes a great, if you cut it up and put it with strawberries and make a rhubarb strawberry pie, that's one of my favorites. It's really yummy. To eat by itself, though, it is kind of sour and it's kind of tart, but it's good. It's good too. And those are some of our stem vegetables that we eat.
Okay, it's my turn. Mrs. Carswell was telling you about the leaves. Miss Jones told you about the stem. I get to tell you about the other two parts of a flower that we can sometimes eat. I'm going to start at the very bottom, though, at the roots. We eat a lot of things that are actually, we call them root vegetables, and other things that come from the roots of the plants. Remember back in February when we talked about peanuts growing under the ground, and peanut is part of the roots? Well, there are a lot of other roots that we eat. For example, a potato. A potato is actually the root part of the vegetable. And sometimes you see potatoes with little hairs coming off, and those are the little roots that come off the potato. So I have a potato here and a sweet potato. They both grow under the ground. Farmers have to dig them out to get them so that we can eat them. Onions do the same thing. You can see down at the bottom here maybe that there are some little hairy things. There you can see. Little hairs, those are more of the roots that grow out. And this whole thing up to about here would be under the ground. It's a bulb, so it grows under the ground. I brought in some carrots. Now this carrot still has the stem and the leaves attached to it. And you can kind of, I tore some off. You can kind of see the little hairs coming off this part. This would be under the ground with the stem and leaves coming up. The part that we eat is the root, the underground part. The last one that I have here today is a beet. Look at that. Isn't that a funny looking thing with the round part still under the ground, and then it's got a long tail with the little root hairs coming off of it. Mrs. Carswell showed you that we can eat the baby leaves. They're down here. Baby beet leaves. But once they get this big, they're really tough. You wouldn't want to eat them this big. But that's the whole beet plant. You can see the root, the stems, and the leaves on the top. So we can eat leaves, stems, roots, the fruits, but the other part of the plant that we haven't really talked about is the flowers. There are some flowers you can eat. Many of you have probably eaten this big white flower. It comes in purple too. This is a cauliflower. Flowers in its name. Cauliflower. I love cauliflower, especially with a little butter and cheese. Mrs. Jones mentioned that we can eat the stems of the broccoli, but the little flowers at the top are some of my favorite things too. I like broccoli just about any way you cook it. There are other flowers you can eat that you probably didn't even know you could eat. For example, I brought in my pansies. These are right off my front porch. You can eat a pansy flower. In fact, some bakeries will coat them in sugar and put them on cakes to make them look really pretty. This does not mean you can go out to Mom's garden and start picking flowers, roots, stems, or anything else to eat. You never, ever, ever eat something unless your mom or dad says it's okay, especially something you find growing outside. That could be dangerous. So check with mom and dad. And I've told you, you don't know if it's been sprayed or if a squirrel's gone by and gone to the bathroom on it. You don't eat anything unless you get it from mom or dad or they say it's okay. But it's cool to think that you can actually eat pretty flowers like this or this or this. So we can eat all different parts of a plant. And we talked when we did the letter V about that a vegetable is any part of the plant that we eat that's not the fruit. And the only thing about the fruits is the fruits, as Miss Carswell showed you, have seeds. Still something we eat. Yum. I could make a nice lunch out of everything here. Have a good day.